What's up, folks? Welcome to Nino's Corner.tv. I'm joined with 𝗬𝗏𝗠𝗲. Is this going to be the new norm one? Is this a shot across the bow? This Tesla explosion in front of Trump Hotel? Is this now the new norm? And then we also
Oh,
have the New Orleans attack, which killed, I think, 15 people now. Both happening on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. What are we looking at, Juan? I mean, this looks like to me, this could be something, a symbolic type of warning to Elon and Trump. I mean, it happened at the Trump Hotel in a Tesla Elon vehicle. To me, this looks like we could expect anything from here on out. These are only going to ramp up and escalate, correct?
well, let's pull it in a little bit. We this isn't the first rodeo, and if somebody's trying to get us unrattled, there've been things before, including at the Trump, a couple of times that we had to evacuate. It's obviously a high-profile target. So, will there be more like this? In the case of the Trump, there were early things that I had, people that said that was right there firsthand, said they didn't see a driver in the vehicle, and so it was believed initially that the vehicle was in self-drive mode, which kind of would make sense. And the reason is, it was so busy the night before, and with all the New Year's and late into the morning, it'd be hard to get a self-driving mode to get the vehicle up to the front of the door. And at that time of the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, things hadn't really picked up yet. And so being in self-driving mode, it could have got right to the door like that. However, we also know that there was a person in the vehicle at the time of the explosion, which wasn't reported initially. And so the question is, was that person actually the person that drove it up and then ignited what was there? Or were they just in the vehicle, somebody incapacitated somehow and somebody else operating it, or the vehicle in a self-operating mode? So a lot of, kind of funny angles that might not be obvious at first, and it's certainly be investigated. It's a terroristic type thing. So, and then, by the way, there was it wasn't like there was dynamite or something like that in the car. It was mortars, is what they call them, which then launch fireworks to kind of higher altitudes that are used.
I mean that vehicle looks like it got totaled. I mean, it was
Yeah,
whatever
but
explosive was in that was pretty severe. I mean, the whole vehicle. I'm playing video of it right now, and that's powerful, Juan. Look
well,
at
the flame front,
boom.
yeah, the flame front. I mean, it's an explosion, obviously, but the flame front wasn't super fast traveling, and the behind the scenes statements that were made, you know, to me concerning that there was a black powder type of substance in the vehicle. You can tell by the color of the flames in the video if you've got the ability to analyze. And so it was a slower explosion that was really more street level explosions. And then you've got batteries. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just looking here. It says FBI investigate Cybertruck explosion outside Trump Hotel that left one dead, seven injured. So the one dead was the one that was in the vehicle, correct?
Yes, and the other people just had kind of sparks and flash burns and like that. That time of morning again. Fortunately, there was people just inside the door and somebody cleaning the glass who, certainly were shocked but weren't actually hurt. Shaken up a bit, and then some minor injuries. Just a handful of people that had, kind of, if you were around sparklers or fireworks, you got kind of hinged by
Well,
things, but nothing serious other than the person in the vehicle. And I want to be slow. Let's find out a little bit more. Let's not call them bomber. A lot of times, for example, in locations around the world where we have vehicle theft, there would be somebody that's literally zip tied in the vehicle. You don't do this somewhere else, things like that. So during the drug wars, we had that a bunch. And so, there's need to allow the investigators to do what they do and try to figure out what exactly did happen.
Juanito, but you were just staying there at the Trump Hotel. You left that day or the day before, correct?
We had left just shortly before, yeah.
Wow. So you could have been walking out and that could have gone off. You left.
Well, I don't want to. We were in the area just prior to it, and not minutes or anything like that. But we had left, and I it was not aimed at certainly me or like that. It was aimed at the Trump, and just like New Orleans, it was a crowd in an available spot, and they went after it. We've had, look, I'll tell you, FBI offices around the country, the field offices, I think almost universally have been activated, and that happened probably about 8 hours ago now, where they started pulling in people and asked everybody to come on in because there's broader threats in play. Certainly, New Orleans, we know that was a number of people that they're looking for related to that, and there's other incidences that have happened around the country that may not have been identified as part of this perhaps broader operation. So there's work being done right now to ascertain whether or not there was any national coordination or if it was just individual cells behind this. So there's a lot of work to be done. And if you overjump to a conclusion too quickly, you could get a lot of momentum in the media and the conversations that ultimately ends up being untrue. So,
but
we asked a lot of the questions.
Like this could be a part of a broader operation, correct?
I think that's not at all unreasonable and probably more likely than not.
Okay. Juan, let's get to @Nino'sCorner.tv and finish it up there. Are you okay with that?
Sure. And by the way, just so people know, there is a sale on the coins over at gumroad.com that ends in just a few hours with an extra coin, just because I got a low in the silver market the other day, where I was getting the last batch before the end of 2024. And so that'll end, late tonight or early in the morning for East Coast people. But if there's anybody that's interested, that's kind of a neat deal. And it was just a last second opportunity that came in, was we were getting some of the last silver for this last run of the mint for 2024. So anyway, look to talk to folks over at Nino's Corner, and let's go do it.
Yeah, thejennifermack.com, folks, and go to @Nino'sCorner.tv. We're going to finish it up there and talk about if this is part of a broader operation. What can we expect coming into January 20th and the first 6 months of Trump's administration?
Well, and by the way, Nino, as far as a distraction or whatever, we do have bigger stuff that's kind of in play, because remember, Friday's when we're supposed to have a speaker elected on over at the House. And will that go smoothly? Will we get a speaker? Will it be Johnson? There's no clear winner in play. And if for any reason we don't get a speaker elected in on the 3rd on time, then we could have drama like we had the last time with McCarthy and all that. Went 15 votes this last time.
Did that delay the 6th?
Well, the 6th can't happen, which is the certification of the 2024 vote. It cannot happen till a speaker is agreed upon in the House, and it'll take 218 votes is the number that is the current number.
I also want to talk to you about Carter's death as well on Nino's Corner.
It's a bit, look, let me just say it this way, and it's convenient on the timing. The devil himself could be behind it. God could be behind it in heaven. Who knows? But it is an amazing moment. And so there's a lot of things in flow. And then, and by the way, let me just add this other little thing. There's things that are happening in the banking side, and I'm very aware of it, that are not just curious, but indicative of, you never know whether they're going to do an under a deflationary, and they're being pretty specific about what's going on there. So we'll talk about that on
Okay.
the other side.
All right, Juanito. See you over at Nino'sCorner.tv.
All right. Thanks.